first thing I'm going to do is get my technology set up. You got that pulled up? I'm going to check and make sure my clicker is going to work. Alright, clicker works, PowerPoint is pulled up. We'll turn the lights back on just for now. I got my tables arranged. So now I'm going to lay out my paperwork for all the students. So here I'm starting with the skill sheets. I made a copy for all the students so that they can look over them before evaluations. So each student has a copy of the skill sheets. This here that I'm passing out now is a review for the end of the class. So after the class is over, I'll ask each student to fill out one of these. This is just a review of how they feel that I did as an instructor. All right, lastly, I've got a copy of the lesson plan for all the students. And then you gotta make sure everybody has the writing utensil. Alright, I'm going to go outside and grab all the props and get them set up. So I've got numerous props here that I'm going to use for this class. Let me just get everything set up on the front table. All right, so that's all for the props in here. I believe that's all for my setup, so we're going to make our way outside. That should be all for my setup, so I'm going to holler at the students and let them know that they can all come in. Hey guys, we're ready for you. can take a spot up here on the front. Brandon, appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Matt, appreciate you being here. Good to see everybody. How's everybody doing today? Good. Great. You said great? I said great. I like that attitude. All right, I appreciate everybody being here today. So first off, again, thank you guys so much for being here. In front of you guys, you should have the lesson plan. So if you guys can just check and make sure that you guys got everything. So you should have a lesson plan. You should have a class review, and that's going to be for the very end of the class. That'll be just for me to know how you guys feel about how I did. And then you guys should have 2 different skill sheets. One of them is from the back. So before we do our skills evaluations, you guys will be able to look over that. And then that should be it. Should be what papers you guys have. Does everybody have all that? All right. Well, thanks again for coming. This is host strings and operations. This is for my Instructor 1 certification. Is everybody comfortable in here? Okay. Too warm? Too cold? Okay. All right. So bathroom's right out this door on the left. Emergency exit. We've got an exit right here. Right out here to the left leads out to the bay. We got 2 garage doors open. Pretty easy to get out here. So. All right. You guys have any questions or anything before we get started?
Safe meeting place?
Safe meeting place?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No. Where is the safe meeting place?
Safe meeting place. Middle of the parking lot if anything happens. Alright. We're going to turn the lights down. Does everybody see okay? Alright. Alright guys, so hose operations and hose strings. I'm your instructor, Kurt Papen. I've been with Washington County for about 5 years now, going on 5 years. Hopefully I don't bore you too much with this presentation. I'll try to make it as entertaining as I can. So, we're going to start with the basics. So, everybody in this room has done this for a little bit now, so we all know what fire hose is, right? The fire hose carries water from the hydrant or the water source to the apparatus and then to the fire. Now our supply hose transfers the water from the source to the apparatus, and the pump controls pressure and forwards water through the attack line. And then you've got your nozzles. Nozzles create hose strings to apply the water to the fire to accomplish extinguishment. Now supply water. So water is easily stored and can be transferred over large distances in a well-designed distribution center. You see how in this picture here, I'm back here taking pictures and everybody else is working. I like taking pictures. All right, fire hydrants. Anybody tell me one thing we really like about fire hydrants?
We don't have to use nasty water.
Yep, the water's much cleaner. Anything else?
Just a lot more water, a lot quicker.
Yep, a lot of water, and it's consistent. So, consistent supply of water. A constant volume of water, and they're very dependable, typically. So, hydrants and water supply systems can fail. So, you have damaged hydrant valves and connections, broken water mains, greater demands that the system can provide, closed isolation valves, restricted mains, and pipes or hydrants that are frozen. So, what are some things that we can do to avoid failure from a hydrant? Most departments do it once a year.
Oh, testing.
Testing, yep. So hydrant testing, using proper equipment and tools. Obviously, if we have tools that are not in good shape, it can damage the equipment that we're using them on. We're not going to use a spanner wrench as a hammer, right? And then knowing the limits of your hydrant. so fire hydrant connection tools. So you got your spanner wrenches, hydrant wrenches, rubber mallets, gate valves, and hydrant valves. All right, hose clamps. Has anybody in here actually used a hose clamp? Never? Don't really see them used very often, but they definitely come in handy. So they can be used to stop the flow of water in a line to prevent charging your hose bed during forward lay from a hydrant. And you can also use them to replace a burst section of hose without having to stop the flow of water and allow extension of a charged line. So you can do this without your operator having to shut a line down to replace a section or add on to if you need to. So the hose clamp, so I've got one right here. If anybody has not seen one, here's one example. There's a couple different styles out there, but this to me, it seems like I see these more often than the other style. Just another picture, which this is something that we're going to demonstrate outside, so all you can see that. So hose deployment tools. Hose roller can be used for edge protection, LDH drainage, and hose collection. Chafing blocks protect hose from abrasion due to vibration. Used near the apparatus where the intake hose comes into contact with pavement or curbs. Can be wood, leather, or old tires. So you can see here, there's blocks that are designed for that, but you can use something as simple as a roll of hose. Then you have your ramps here. Where is an example of somewhere we might use a ramp?
In a major roadway.
Major roadway. Anything else? Railroad tracks, maybe? Hose deployment tools. The hose straps, rope, and chain are used to carry, pull, and handle charged hose lines. Used to secure hose to ladders and other fixed objects. So what do you see in this picture that pretty much all of us carry on here?
Ladder.
Okay, good. All right. Hose valves and appliances. So, we got the ball valves used in pumper discharges, gated wads, fire pump testing systems. The butterfly valves used in large pump intakes. A flat baffle that turns 90 degrees. Most are operated with a quarter turn handle or using an electric motor. So, and clapper valves used in Siamese appliances and FTCs. Allows water to flow in only one direction. So you've got a FTC here. If you hook up to one side, it's not going to flow out the other side because it's got a clapper valve in it. Then your gate valves used to control flow from the hydrant. Baffle is lowered into the pad of water by turning a screw type panel. So you can see screw and unscrew, this moves up and down and restricts flow. And then right here you've got your butterfly, so that just rotates, cuts off supply, and then your ball valve. So I have an example of that right here. I can take the pass this along, pass this around if you guys would like, but you just turn that, opens up and closes. I've got a smaller version of that right here, which actually pass this along. So you can play with that for a minute. Valve appliances. Supply appliances. Divide a single hose line into two or more. So, that right there. It divides one line, or takes one line and splits it into two. Have a single female inlet and multiple male outlet connections. Valve controlled outlets, and they're generally ball valves, such as that right there. And then a Siamese appliance, they look very similar to Y appliances, but play the opposite function. They combine multiple lines into one line, and usually consists of two female inlets and a single male outlet. Valve appliances continue, so you've got water feed appliances. and large large diameter hose appliances. So with water feed appliances, you have an inlet and an outlet of matching size combined with smaller outlets that steal the water from the main line. The large diameter hose appliances consist of one LVH inlet and three 2.5 male outlets, also known as quarter hydrants, phantom pumpers, or large diameter distributors. All right. Anybody tell me the difference between forward and reverse leg? Trevor?
Fourth day start the hydrant, first start the house.
Yep. Have you seen? Yep. The house, building, whatever, the fire scene. Yeah, deploy from the source to the incident, it's going to be your forward leg, and reverse from the scene to the water source. Alright, we've all connected to a hydrant, right? Plenty of times. So, and we'll do this outside, so we got to connect 54 to the hydrant before we flow water. But firefighter takes a minimum of a hydrant wrench and the finished section of hose and radio. You may have a hydrant pack or hydrant bag. As far as I know, all of our Western trucks have packs. I don't believe that any trucks have bags. I have seen some trucks that have bags. The only problem with that is you got to remember to grab the hose and bag. Hydrant pack is pretty easy. You're just grabbing the pack with the line. But I guess it's just personal preference or the department's preference. So the firefighter removes enough hose to reach and wrap around the hydrant and pull extra if you need to. Wrap it around the hydrant at the base and anchor the hose. And then you're going to signal to your DO to drive off. Deployment of pre-connected hose lines. So steps of deployment vary with the type of hose load. Speed and efficiency increase with practice. So the main focus today with the pre-connected lines is going to be our AAA and flat leg. But what other kind of hose loads are out there? Accordion, Minuteman, Cleveland, Horseshoe. Yeah. So there's quite a few out there. Advancing hose lines. So after a line has been deployed and charged, it becomes much more difficult because of the added weight and the pressure. But it's often unsafe to enter a burning building with an uncharged line, right? Therefore, a firefighter must know how to handle charged and uncharged. So before advancing line into a structure, make sure you're staying alert for any kind of danger such as backdraft, flashover, and structural collapse. The uncharged line is advanced from a point of entry. A firefighter may need to remain at each corner or doorway to help guide line into the structure. So when we're outside, we're going to advance the hose line around some corners and stuff, and we got to see where everybody needs to stand to efficiently advance that line. So check for and remove kinks and bends from the line as it's advanced. Now open the nozzle fully to bleed the air, then check water flow and select your desired pattern. And chop doors if you need to prevent it from pinching the line. This is what happens if you don't pay any attention to your pattern and you just advance the line, the charge, it gets charged, and then you try to go inside and start spraying water. Something that can happen. What's that?
Heated air.
You can feed it air. Yep. If you go in there with a fog pattern and you don't realize it's on fog, then you're just creating a bunch of steam. Alright. Advancing up and down stairways. So it is easier done when it's uncharged, right? You're going to lay the line against the outside of the wall to keep the stairs as clear as possible. You've already got the trip hazard of the stairs, you don't want to be tripping over the hose as well. So the access hose should be deployed on the stairs toward the floor above the fire floor if possible. If possible, position a firefighter at every turn from a point of resistance to aid in the advancement. So where's a good spot for a firefighter right here to stand?
outside of the hose at the bottom.
Yeah, probably right in there, they can just feed it around. Obviously, yeah, they'll want to get on the outside of it, but then after it's finished, trying to keep it out of the way. Standpipe operations. We don't really do a whole lot of those in our area necessarily, but you know, in the bigger cities with bigger buildings, it's definitely more common. Fires beyond the reach of a pre-connected hose line may require that a hose be carried to the standpipe outlet closest to the fire. The use of pre-assembled hose rolls, bundles, or packs on the apparatus ready to carry upstairs and connect to the building standpipe. So what do we have on our trucks that we can do that with? RS pack. Yep. So when two lines are used from the same standpipe, if possible, deploy one down the lower set of stairs and then the other up the stairs to prevent them from getting tangled. Where are standpipes typically located? Stairwells. Yep. Alright, so how else can we get an attack line up to an upper floor without using the stairs? Window, yeah. So throwing a ladder up against the building or through a window. What's one other thing?
You could take a rope with you and look at a window or an exterior stairwell.
Yeah.
Pull the hose up, or you could take a section of supply hose with you and drop over the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. One other thing too that I was kind of thinking was ladder truck. Very convenient. The hose strings. Direct flow of water from the supply through the nozzle to the fire. Factors that affect the hose string. So I want you guys to pay pretty close attention to this list here. And I'm going to kind of help you guys cheat just a little bit, because on the test that I created, there was one question that is apparently a little bit tricky. So I had some people actually take this test for me to see what they thought. And most of them got it wrong. So I'm going to help you guys out here. So these are the factors that affect hose string. The velocity of water and the extinguishing agent, flow rate, gravity, wind speed and direction, air friction, operating pressure, nozzle design and adjustment, and the condition of the nozzle. So on my test, there is a question where you select 3 answers, okay? One of them is not on this list. So just try to do your best to remember those the best you can. And then, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky on that test, but that'll probably just be a freebie question. But we'll see how you guys do with it. Maybe you guys are smarter than the other guys that I gave the test to. I don't know. All right, so you got 2 different strings here. So what do we have there on the left?
Straight string.
Straight string, yep. Which is typically we use for fire attack, yeah. And then on the right side, what do we have there? Oh, yep. So fire pattern, what are we doing with that? Protecting firefighters, yep. Used for applying water or come directly into burning material, open flame, or into a ring to reduce its temperature before advancing it. Reduction of temp of upper gas layers. Disperse hot smoke or fire gases from a heated area, or creating a water curtain to protect firefighters and property from heat. Nozzles. The size of the nozzle opening or orifice and nozzle pressure determine the quantity of the water flowing from the nozzle. So obviously, if you have a nozzle per 2.5 and a nozzle per 1 3/4, you can have quite the differences there in pressure. The size of the opening also influences the reach or the distance of the string. The type of nozzle determines the shape of the hose string. Smoothbore nozzle produces a tightly packed solid string. An adjustable pattern spring or fog nozzle produces a fog or straight string. So everybody's used a fog nozzle, right? Or I'm sorry, a Smooth bore, yeah. Yeah, we'll pass those around. And we're gonna be using both of those nozzles outside as well, so you guys are gonna see the differences and feel the differences. Smooth bore and fog nozzles are used on hand lines and master string devices, or on appliances, such as fixed apparatus mounted monitors, which another name for that is, what's it? That guy, yeah. Yeah, the fixed apparatus mounted monitors. Portable monitors and elevated monitors on aerial devices. Alright, so the smooth bore, which is getting passed around right now, has a straight, smooth tip that produces a solid string. Does it smell weird?
That's not weird.
It smells like molten water.
Yeah.
Design so the shape of the bore and the nozzle is gradually reduced until it reaches a point of short distance from an orifice, and it gives water its solid shape for discharge. Operate at a low nozzle pressure, so 50 psi on the hand line is recommended, and then 80 on most master string appliances. Some have a single size tip, such as that right there, and then you've also got stackable tips for various flow. When using stack tips, remove the low flow tips if higher flow is required, right? So it goes from bigger to smaller, you take the tip off, you have more water. Fog nozzles can create a straight stream, narrow angle fog, or a wide angle fog. Maybe automatic or manual discharge rate, which I believe the one that passed around is a manual, is that right? That's not manual? Okay, alright. So all wrong about that, automatic. Manual fog nozzles allow the nozzle operator to adjust the rate at the nozzle. Can provide protection for firefighters, uses a variety of applications, and can be used to apply foam. Broken string delivery devices. Used to extinguish fires in concealed spaces in basements, chimneys, attics, or other concealed spaces. So you've got a piercing nozzle and a cellar nozzle. So here's your cellar nozzle right here. And then a piercing nozzle we've got here on the floor, so I didn't want to take a chance of falling off the table or make the table break. It's pretty heavy. So here's the piercing nozzle, used to pierce materials such as stucco, block, wood, and lightweight steel. So this right here is going to go through a wall. And it does have a striking plate on it, and then your hose connection. So if you know where your fire room is, you can pierce that through the wall, start applying water to the fire before going in. And then your cellar nozzle has a rotating head on it with outlets, so it's got multiple outlets all around it. And it is used to distribute water in a circular pattern lowered into a cellar, attic, top loft, or a confined space through a hole cut in an overhead surface. So you can cut a hole into a roof, right? And then just drop it down in there with the hose connected, and it spins, sprays water all over the place. Did you guys want to see this? I'll pass it around if you want.
Yeah.
Alright, so just a couple pictures of those items. Nozzle maintenance. What do you guys see wrong here?
Okay.
Yep. So inspect after every use and at least once a year. Inspect the swivel gasket for damage or wear. Replace worn or missing gaskets. So does everybody know where to find a gasket in a nozzle?
No.
Yeah. So Brandon's pointing to it. Okay. while you guys are looking at that, we have a gasket on the inside. Every nozzle has that, so you just check that every so often to make sure that it's not damaged. Alright, so then you're checking your handle, right? Making sure that it's moving like it's supposed to. And making sure that it's not bent, like that right there. Checking your threads on the inside. And then checking to make sure there's no rocks or anything inside the nozzle. Which, if you're flowing water, you're going to notice that there's a rock in there. Ensure that the pistol grip is secured to the nozzle. Ensure all parts are in place and in good condition. Right? So you're also checking the handle, make sure it's solid, not loose. So I'm going to pass this one around right here. See if you can tell me what's wrong with that.
Feels like the GPM adjustment is not holding how it should be.
It's heavy. For such a small nozzle, it is heavy. Yeah.
So what is this nozzle?
That's a poly nozzle for a 1-inch booster reel.
Okay. So it's missing teeth, a lot of teeth.
That's the first thing that stood out to me was it's missing a bunch of teeth on it. So,
Like that. And the handle's loose.
handle's loose. Yep.
And this cycle behind it is broke as well.
Yep. Exactly. So you guys are all right. You guys found multiple things wrong with it. So obviously that's not a nozzle that we want to use. So general nozzle care. Clean nozzles if need be. You can use soap or soap and water with a soft bristle brush. Follow manufacturer recommendations for cleaning and lubricating any moving parts that are sticking. Store nozzle with the valve closed. You always do that. And of course, we never drop or drag nozzles, right? That's probably how the teeth, got knocked off those. It smacked up against something and broke teeth off. You can use a flush setting to remove any internal debris. If you need to, have the line shut down, you can remove the nozzle and remove any debris if you see it. All right, stream flow rates. So we're not going to focus too much about the rates necessarily. We'll just run over real quick. But hose streams are classified based upon the flow rate. So you've got low flow, inline, and master streams. Your low flow is going to be considered anything less than 40 TPM. So a 3/4 inch line, 1 inch, or 1.5 inches. So booster reel, all booster reels are 1 inch, right? So that's going to be considered a low flow. And then our hand lines, so 1.5 inch up to 3 inch, that flows from 40 to 350 dBm. And then our master stream, so more than 350 fed by 1 or more 2.5 or 3 inch hose lines, or large diameter hose lines connected to a master stream nozzle. So, master stream nozzle here, so this is going to be master stream. So solid streams produce from a smoothbore nozzle. They're compact with little shower or spray, and they can reach areas that other streams may not. You can get a lot better penetration with them, and large amounts of water very quickly. Your poly nozzles are fine spray composed of tiny little water droplets. Maximum water surface for heat exposure can be used for hydraulic ventilation, vapor dispersion, crew protection. So we talked about that earlier, right, with the crew protection. Shorter reach and less penetration than a solid or straight string. It may intensify the fire by pushing fresh air into the fire if applied incorrectly, like that was talking about earlier. Alright, straight string. Semi-solid string produced by a fog nozzle. The characteristics are similar to those of a solid string. And a broken string, which you're going to get from something like this, or a piercing nozzle. A string that is broken into coarsely divided water droplets, such as a cellar nozzle, piercing, and chimney nozzle. Firefighters can deflect a solid or straight string off the walls or ceilings to create a broken string. A solid or straight string breaks up as it is deflected, cooling hot gases above the fire. So, who's shot water into a room and banked it off the ceiling to cool it down and to disperse the water. Yeah. Most of this happen. So, alright. So top left corner. Matt, can you tell me which one that is?
That's a straight string. Single point?
Solid string.
Solid string.
Yeah, solid string. And then top right, Hilton, can you tell me that one?
Solid string. Right?
That
Solid?
one's gonna be your straight string. Yeah. So solid. They look very similar. Yeah. So that's gonna be from a smoothbore. That's gonna be your solid. So that's a lot more compact than this is. This is still pretty compact,
Right.
but this is a straight string. That's gonna be your solid. And then you've got your fog pattern, and then your broken string. Hose string limiting factors: gravity, velocity loss, water droplet friction from air drag, and wind. So does anybody know what that means when it mentions water droplet friction with air drag? So sorry, go ahead.
Whenever it's just a straight string, the water droplets are more individualized, and air drag separates it quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Operating a small hose line with one firefighter. So it should really only be done on a small ground cover fire, a vehicle fire, overhaul operations, rubbish or trash fires, and fire in outbuildings or sheds. So your smaller fires, right? Anything bigger than that, you're going to have two firefighters. Two firefighters are the minimum required for handling any attack line during interior structural operations. So 2 in, 2 out, right? We've always got 2 in. The nozzle operator holds the nozzle with one hand and holds the hose just behind the nozzle with the other hand. The hose line then rests against the waist and across the head. The backup firefighter takes a position on the same side of the line about 3 feet behind the nozzle operator. The second firefighter holds the hose with both hands and rests it against the waist or across the hip, or embraces it with their leg. That's something we're going to be practicing outside. So there's just an example of that. All right, the large diameter hose. So who's used a 2.5-inch line by themselves? Yeah, it's not easy to do, is it? Well, it can be. So if you were one firefighter on a large diameter hose line, or a large hose line, it can be anchored by you, such as, well, we'll talk about that outside. You can move it around and sit on it, so you're anchoring it. If you got 2 firefighters on it, it's the same positioning as with a small hand line. Nozzle reaction. So everybody's felt nozzle reaction, right? So velocity and flow rate create a force in the opposite direction of the stream, pushing back on the operator. So this video I've not been able to get to work for some reason, but I do have, let's see if I find the mouse. Bear with me here for just a second. There we go. All right.
Do you own your own home in Missouri and are still paying for electricity? You could be missing out on free.
Alright. So we want to avoid that, right? I had that working the other day, I'm not sure why it's not working now. On the bright side, we're almost done with this. Okay, there we go. Alright, so friction loss. Friction loss is the total water pressure that is lost while forcing water through pipes, fittings, hoses, and adapters. So the more you add to a system, the more friction loss you're going to have. Slows the water flow and reduces its pressure at the nozzle. Friction loss is overcome or reduced by increasing hose size, increasing pump pressure, adding parallel lines, and removing kinks or sharp ends. Alright, so can anybody tell me what water hammer is?
It's when you open or nearly shut flowing water down.
And then it shocks the system, right? So, as Brandon just said, is when a nozzle is closed suddenly, or not even just a nozzle, it could be a fire hydrant or whatever. Anytime something's closed suddenly, a shock wave is produced when moving water reaches the nozzle and stops with great force. This sudden change in direction creates excessive pressure that can cause damage to water mains, fire hose, pumps, plumbing, and hydrants. So how can we prevent that?
Obviously, closing it slowly.
Closing it very slowly. You guys like how I use the turtle? Yeah, turtle for slow. Yep. Alright, so operating a master string device. That again, this right here. So, use when fire is beyond effectiveness of hand lines or there is a need for a hose string in areas unsafe for firefighters. Proper placement is important because they have some adjustment left and right, up and down, but they need to be shut down in order for you to relocate them, right? So if you've got that flowing water, anybody here think they can pick that up and move it and continue flowing water? Maybe, Matt, maybe. I don't recommend it though. Probably something you shouldn't try. Let's see. Okay, so if aiming string into a building should be angled upward to deflect off the seal. This will provide more coverage than a horizontal string. Alright. I just got these hoses cleaned up and tucked into their hose bit. Alright, that's the end of that. So, alright, so what we're going to be doing is taking about a 10-minute break, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and gear up, and then we're gonna start our outside activities. So, let's see what time it is now. 2:51, so a couple minutes after 3, we'll start back up.
So I'm not exactly sure because it's like goes 20 minutes and then starts another section. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be kind of a pain in the rear with this. You're going to have to splice those together.
There's only so much technology you can overcome.
person. Can I get one of you guys to grab the master senior license here? You want to know? Anything else?
No, we should be good.
Noses and everything we already have out here, so.
You're not yourself.
The first thing we're gonna be doing is pull a hose,
Okay, I can probably go mobile with it too.
You guys at Southern Stone use the right hand tool, or what do you guys use?
Yeah, we just set up for right hand.
So exactly what it is, pretty much. Well, then it looks like you have 4 loops. How does that work?
So top loops come down, and you either shoulder it, pull shoulder it straight off, and pull what I do. That makes me feel so good. Step into it, and I'll go down, come out, boom, step back, hands through, pull, 22 feet, just clear the bed, drop, and on the other loop, take that either to the door or call it stretch it back, and then you've got your 400 right there. But it's
Comparing,
not Minuteman.
honestly, if you gave me the option between the Cleveland and the Minuteman, Cleveland.
You're an idiot.
Why am I an idiot?
Because I can do a Cleveland with a Minuteman. You
But it's
can't do a
already-
Minuteman with a Cleveland.
How many guys you guys over here? I'm so sorry, Kurt.
Me.
Okay?
No. Why would you need to split a Cleveland into a Minuteman?
If I got a stairwell, if I've got, like, I can still make loops. It's boom, and I've got loops. I put them on a wall and put them in here, or I can just drop it, fly it back, and bring it forward.
All right, can I get everybody gathered over here for a minute? All right, so the next thing we're gonna be doing is the pulling line. We've got a flat lay and a triple lay. We're gonna be practicing. So gear wise, we're just gonna have all of our gear on except our Nomex, no mask, and we're not gonna wear a pack. So coats, pants, boots, helmet, and instructor gloves. All right, so we can all gear up. We won't even worry about rolling it right now. Just pull it out of the way here. All right, AAA. We pull these all the time, right? So everybody here knows how to pull AAA? Yeah. So, I mean, is everybody perfectly comfortable with pulling it? If if so, then I'm not going to bother you. Pull it, just reload it. We're pretty comfortable. Okay. All right, so who would want to go first? All right, Brandon, go right ahead. We've got a loop, nozzle, a pull. So he fills the catch, and then he drops his loop and proceeds with his nozzle. Ready for water. All right, great job.
Take off your middle. Good. Load. To be honest with you, I think I like the flat left here. I'd be interested on this
As long as you guys are making it work, that's great. It's when people start fighting that you gotta take people away from the equation. Knowledge coming up? Knowledge? What are you guys looking back and making sure after you get to where you're going? What makes sure lines not changed? Yeah. No caves, no beds, laid out correctly. Yeah, make sure it's laid out. Yeah, laid out. All right. Huh? We should do this every Sunday. Oh, we should? It's not here, practice. That's a good idea. I agree. Practice is especially for traffic. Especially for volunteers. Are we good? Now, you got your move. You guys so far? me. What's up? Now, we're done with this here, so we're gonna be moving on to the truck over there, we're actually gonna float some water. Rather than pull the lines off that, we'll do this.
Go West, everybody's around our command, you can cancel engine 73.
Any units moving into 73 around the Red Park. Red Park decrease in the MVA to cancel multiple command. Incident number is 2762758.
Nice shot. Yeah.
Hey, Kurt.
Is it shut off again? Why those sound in You know, your back here coat doesn't have anything on it.
It's going now.
It's going now?
But just so you know, like, I'm probably going to stop it and start it. That way you don't have to read that.
Sounds good. All right, everybody geared up, ready to go? Let's go. All right. So, our pre-connected lines, everybody's pulled flat way, right? As well as a triple way?
Correct.
Yep. Okay, so, we ought to be able to run through this pretty quick then. So, we need a nozzle. Can somebody grab 1 3/4 nozzle? Which one do you guys want to start with, flat or triple? Let's go flat. Go flat? Okay. We get an all down here. Is it rock and roll? I appreciate that, Trevor. I thought I'd drop that out with you, but guess not. So. Got a nozzle on. Alright, so a lot of times these are going to be full mode, something like that, or they could be hanging down. But anyway, so you got your 2 loops down here. You're going to be reaching through with your arm, and you're going to have a hold of the one farthest away from you in your hand. the other one up by your shoulder, and then your nozzle on your other hand. So, as you're pulling, you're going to feel a catch, and you're dropping the section that's in your hand. As you continue to pull, you'll feel it catch again, that's where you drop it off your arm. And then you run with your nozzle, okay? So, I'm going to pull left straight towards the camera, off to the side a little bit. Got those sections, got my nozzle, and I'm ready to go. Feel a catch, check and make sure it's out of the bed. And I'm going to drop that. I'm going to continue on. That's good. And then continue on with my nozzle. And then flake out. Drag or nozzle. And after you're where you need to be, look down your line, make sure there's no kinks or bends in it, okay? So we'll load this up. Is everybody comfortable doing that? And we're not going to make this perfect, just because we're going to continue pulling it time after time. So we'll just get it laid in here halfway decent. Got a couple in here. You guys see about where Brandon's putting these loops at? No, would you mind to grab that nozzle? Yes. Perfect. All right, who wants to be the first one to go? Brandon, what's up? Almost seems like you've done this before. All right, great job. Alright, who's going next? So, this goes here on the bicep, right? Up and down. Hold. Yep. And then as soon as you feel that section in your hand catch, just drop it, continue on, and then you'll drop the other section, and then run with your nozzle. That's fantastic. Good job.
So this is for what, one-man operations only?
What's that?
This only for one-man operations? right
Yeah,
here?
that's just one person pulling a ham on.
Okay. Would somebody else like to make the polls?
Yeah, let's switch positions here.
I just thought it was like a subject.
Yeah, as long as you guys are rotating out different positions. So what is your loop that falls right here? It doesn't have to be on a particular spot, just somewhere towards the bottom. Kind of depends on if you have a load like this on the front, I believe on this.
There's not really a benefit to either or, whatever.
All right, fantastic. feeling good about this? Yeah. So now once you guys are done with this, you'll be able to load the right hand pull these out. I will say, for our hose types, these are perfect for my and for this is not good. I would let go of it now. So I would not want to. But you never do. Whoa. No, I really don't want it. That's just me. Like Minuteman? I love Minuteman, dude. I really do. The Minuteman one? I've never, I think James. I've been to right now. Oh. Oh. Sure, beautiful. Good job. Yeah, it seems like you just went almost to the end. We're just going to throw this on here just to get it out of the way. Everybody's done this one, right? Oh, you haven't? Okay, I'm sorry. So, yeah, we will run it one more time. Yeah, I'm just watching for that. You need more? No. Okay, so I'm gonna take it all the way. Full little slide. Nozzle's coming up. I'll vote. Alright, so we got one more and then we'll move on to the AAAs. Good job.
We're just throwing it back on.
Yeah, don't even worry about the roofs and everything, just kind of get it out of the way. Yep, that'll work. We can go ahead and break this down. Alright, so, yeah, okay. Alright, so, our skills here are going to be advancing a hose, I'm sorry, we've already done that. So, operating a hose line. So, we're going to be using the smooth bore and the fog. So right now we've got a fog nozzle on there. We'll have to pull the 2.5 off the back to do the smooth bore. And then we're going to work on 1 firefighter and 2 firefighter methods of handling it. So, 1 firefighter. So, everybody wants to kind of come around here to the other side of things. So, make sure you got a good stance, whatever you're comfortable with. You're ready for that nozzle reaction. Keep that within arm's length, right? And then right around, probably wherever you're comfortable with, but somewhere between around the rib cage or the hip. Hold it slowly. You'll be flowing your water. And then you'll switch from straight. And now we got a good straight nozzle, or stream. And then we're going to switch over to the fog. And we got a good fog pattern going. Switch it back. And slowly. Right? To prevent what? Water handling. Right. So why is penciling okay to water handle? What's that?
That's beyond the scope of this class.
Oh, that's not too good. We got a fog pattern. And straight. Simple as that. Everybody on? Yes, sir. Alright, good job. So now we'll switch over to the 2 firefighter method. So, who wants to be my other firefighter? Alright, so, again, arms length, right here at the side, good, comfortable stance. And then Matt's going to be right behind me, holding it straight. Now he's not going to be way up here or way down here. So he's going to keep it in line with me. And then we'll flow. Switch over to our fog. Back to our straight. And flow slowly. And then we'll just rotate through this, make sure everybody has their position. All right, fantastic job, everybody. It was good, smooth transitions, rotating out and everything. All right, so next we're going to move on to the 2.5 inch line off the back of the truck. It's got a smooth bore on it. Let's pull this. No, no nails. Hold up. Go ahead. All right, that's good, Trevor. We'll break it loose and we'll just run 100 feet.
Once you get
You ready to go, Brandon? Yep. All right, we're good to go. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring that back over here a little way so we can be in kind of tighter quarters. So we'll start with 2 firefighters on this, so whoever wants to jump on there with them. And remember, it's going to be the same. Water. Yep. Ready for water? It's going to be the same positions and everything. You're just going to have a lot more nozzle reaction. Water's coming. Yeah, go ahead. I was watching. had a couple kinks in it. Everybody's gone? Alright. Now we'll do one firefighter method. This is where I was talking about earlier, with looping it around and anchoring it. Has anybody not seen this done? Loop, and you can simply put that underneath there, and give yourself a little bit of extra there you got to work with. You got it anchored. And you can sit there and flow water easy as can be. Pull the nozzle slowly. That's all there is to it. You could sit on it if you wanted to, rather than using the knee. Well, target practice. Alright, so we're going to shut the line down and then we'll put the master stream on. That's okay if you just leave that underneath the way it was. Definitely doesn't hurt anything. Alright, so this master string device here, you've got the two legs that fold in and out. So you'll make sure that those folded out and make sure that your bail is closed. You lay it down. We're good to go. We'll go ahead and put it kind of a straight stream to start off, and then we'll move to a ball pattern. So, one person manning it. Ready? got a little bit of play left and right, and up and down. Ready to go? Good job closing slowly. So a couple of scenarios that we might use this would be one.
Larger commercial fire, something like in the garage.
A large fire where it's unsafe to go in with a hand line. And you can also, bank it off of the ceiling right and let the water disperse. I probably wouldn't. Billy asked if we can leave this unmanned. I would say no, because if there was some kind of change in pressure, I've heard of stories where those pick up, towards people and almost hit them in the face. You never know what can happen with it if it's unmanned, so definitely keep one person on it. And by anchoring it down right there, you're also anchoring it down right here, so there's not a whole lot of reaction to it, right? So you can sit there all day and fight fire. So, alright, everybody good with this? Alright. Well, let's go ahead and break this down. Well, we'll shut the line down and take this off. Alright, everybody feeling good about all this?
Yeah.
So, we'll go ahead and head inside, take your coats off, kind of take a little bit of a break, okay? About a 10-minute break.
Are we going to be done with our coats or are we going to get them? Was that still filming? Yeah, just left it however it was.
I don't want to be the. Oh, where did you go? Because we all know that happens. I don't even know how to take that. I don't even look up yourself on the camera. I'm careful with it.
Actually, we'll put this guy over here.
Yeah. So, Matt's gonna put the truck away. So Matt's gonna put the truck away. We're gonna have to clear down. We're gonna go back inside and do our written test. And on grade the test, have a little meeting with you and let you know how you do on the test and the evaluation. That'd be about that. Okay. So, well, you're gonna wait on the truck? Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and come in here and gear down.
I go walk into the other room and I'm like, all right, we need to get this stuff off of 14. They look at me weird.
So we have all the students back in here, all right?
Yes.
All right. All right, so everybody did a great job out there. Next we have written test. I've got two different versions here, so I wouldn't recommend trying to cheat on anybody. If we could, Hilzer, can I have you sit one seat back?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And Trevor, would you mind to scoot one seat back?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. All right, and all papers in front of you, go ahead and take those.
Is there any more lights we put on in here?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
No, hold on just a second. Alright, so, you got test? Alright. Alright, don't start just yet. Finish the test here. Everybody spread out. No cheating, obviously. Alright, then after you guys get done, just set it off to the side. After everybody's completed it, I'm gonna have everybody step outside, and then I'll bring you in one by one. I'll go over your tests with you, go over your evaluations with you. So, alright, you guys can begin. make sure you guys write your names at the top of those as well.
Step outside of your door. No.
Everybody done?
I'm done.
Go ahead and collect the test.
Yes, sir.
After I collect the test, you step outside. Just kind of stay right here in this area outside the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
You want this door closed?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Trevor? You might grab your evaluation sheets on your way up. Sure. Alright. Test wise. We got all of them right. So, straight out on that. As far as the skills, I did not see anything to criticize. All he did fantastic on the skills. So, operating a hose line, smooth water, no problem. Yeah, good stance while you were handling the hose. Far enough ahead of you that you still hold on to it, so you can still reach the valve. So, there's that on there. Always maintain control. Prevent water hammer. And then on the two-person methods, you adjust on those. You adjust the fog nozzle as you're supposed to. Always maintain. So. So that's it. On that one, sorry. And then advancing a hose load. I know you've advanced plenty of hose loads. I don't see anything to criticize. As far as the flat hose, or the flat lane, you reach your arm through properly. I grabbed hold of the hose, advanced it just as you were supposed to. You walk the length of the hose to make sure that the spray kinks. Triple A. Did everything properly. Fast. All there is to it.
All right, that's it.
All there is to it.
Thank you, sir. You want me to just say next person, or are you gonna get somebody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Matt Daly. We might grab your evaluation sheets on the way up. As far as the test, the only one we missed was number 2, advancing an uncharged line up flight of stairs is only recommended when a fire is minor or not present. That's the only time you- Yeah, yeah. Yep, so that was the only one. As far as the skills. And we're looking for those. All right. So we've done this for quite a bit of time, many years. I didn't see anything that I felt I needed to criticize. Did great on everything. Like handling a hose line was something you excel at. Pretty easy for you. And pulled it just fine. And as far as with the two-person hardware method, you work well with the other person. So nothing to critique there. So that's it. availability. We might grab your evaluation sheets on the way up. Alright, so all answers correct. As far as the skill evaluations. So the two firefighter method, did great working with somebody. There was only one minor thing that one firefighter method, okay? And that's when you started out, you looked very straight up and down. You didn't look like you were really ready for the nozzle reaction. Which I know we didn't have the line super hot, but had it been hot, it would have been very comfortable. But you ended up changing it, so you did step back and, fix your stance a little bit better. That was the only thing. I'm not going to document anything there. You switch from straight string to long, just one. Alright, and then pulling the lines, nothing to critique there. Grab the hose in the spots you're supposed to. Make sure it's pulled all the way out of the hose bed. Advance with the designated area. Make sure there are no kinks. So, that's all. Thanks, George. Noah. Oh, I'm sorry. We did not grab your evaluation sheets. I apologize. I should have collected those earlier. Alright. So, as far as the test, everything right. No problems there. Advancing the hose load, I seen nothing to critique. You did everything just as you were supposed to. With the flat load, you put the arm through, grab the lube just as you were supposed to. Make sure that it's clear from the hose bed. You kept an eye on it. Make sure nothing got tangled. You made sure that it was free kinks. For the triple layer, I know you pulled the triple layer numerous times, many times. So nothing's pursued there. How long have you been doing this?
I started with Western about 4 years ago.
Well, you've got a really bright future ahead of you in fire service.
Well, I appreciate it.
Very intelligent young man, and you're going to do big things. So, as far as the one firefighter and two firefighter methods, handling the hose line, nothing. I said nothing you did wrong. You handled the hose line with the other firefighter just fine, which is 10 with 10. So, everything went great. You switch from straight to long pattern, just fine. Ensure there's no water handling. So, that's all. Thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns about the class? Anything? Okay. Well, if so, if it's something you want to talk to me about after the class, by all means, if you have any questions, just let me know. We didn't get around to everything I was hoping we'd be able to, but kind of limited on time. So anything that we did not get to work on here, we always work on at station training. Just let officers know, and, officers will make it happen. So I definitely appreciate you guys coming, and that's the end of the class. Everybody in this class is great, so definitely appreciate the hard work.